like to now move on to this movement about financial advisors becoming coaches now, or financial therapists, if you will. What does that mean exactly? And what is the difference between that and what an advisor historically was?
When I think of a financial coach, I guess I'm thinking much more than just an advisor. I think of a strategist, a confidant. They're probably providing advice both from cash flow right through to wealth accumulation and protection needs, right through to estate planning. They're really becoming the centre of the universe for their client as that one-stop shop. Information's everywhere. Everybody can get information, and what a coach is about is it's about grabbing that information, distilling it, making it personal and then relevant for the individual, and then putting your strategies, etc., around the outside. So for mine, it's helping them go from A to B, and then just showing them what they need to do along the way. So it's a hell of a lot more than just that narrow definition of a financial advisor.
I think as we move, we're moving into a phase where a portion of the population is moving into retirement, and I was listening to someone speak the other day, and I see the role of the planner being much more than just financially, what amount of money am I going to get in retirement. I mean, it's a whole confronting exercise moving in retirement, and I think the financial planners are at the centre of that, talking about the values for you in retirement, talking about how you deal with aged care. And I suppose for me, I sum it up. I have a 21-year-old now, and I said to her, she's a trustee, scary concept. I said to her, what on earth would you do if I died? And she said to me, I'd ring Paul, who's our financial planner. And I think that's a good definition of a financial coach to me, because at least he's such a trusted part it's not just about my retirement, it's about the whole ecosystem of our family.
It is all about the relationship, and I think Alexis highlighted it quite well. We have moved into financial advice in our business, but the biggest market right now is the pre-retirees and the retirees, and what happens with the aged care piece. All these things that people are having to think of, and there's going to be an aged care housing crisis, there's going to be all these things. So how can we navigate this with our clients? There's no one really, if you think about the larger financial professional space, accountants, estate planning lawyers, I've traditionally seen them as really providing a very good technical service, but who's there to hold the hand and be the relationship manager? And I really think that's where financial advisors, financial coaches, financial therapists, whatever you want to call us, that's where we're going to sit, is that family manager in a way.
It's very much like Lex said, sort of, and you talk about it from your own experience. When I go to our financial planner, the bulk of the discussion early on is about values and dreams, and where are we trying to go to. Then out of that, two things happen. One is it sorts out where my wife and I are on different planes, and he sort of helps us navigate to a common plane. And secondly, then the reference points on things we don't think about. One of the differences with my wife and I is philanthropy. And so then when something's decided to be done, he doesn't do everything himself. He's a centre of influence, and he directs things out to other people. And the other thing for someone like me who's very busy, he's able to more efficiently deal with a whole lot of things. So there's a whole range of things that you wouldn't think about before you went along as to what could be offered when you go through that door.
And I do see a lot of advisors that are caught in solution mode. Right? They see a client, they go straight into a solution, but they haven't actually gotten to know the client. I say to clients that when you're coming in to see an advisor, you are actually going to lay yourself bare. You are going to strip everything down in your life, and you are going to put it on the table. And the advisor needs to have that emotional intelligence. And I know we use this a lot, but it's like the below the line. We say the above the line is solution mode, below the line is getting deep into the client. I always talk to my clients about, what are your dreams? What are the dreams? Even if it's a dream that doesn't seem real, tell me what it is. So we work around goals and dreams rather than the solution will happen at the end. It's getting all of that emotional stuff right first. And I think this is where some advisors still just haven't quite got that and go into solution mode.
What about the pricing and fee structures? How does that typically look like under this sort of therapist model?
You know, the debate around fees and commissions, I think, is gone now, except maybe in the life insurance world. But from an investment point of view, I think it's, you know, most advisors I know, including myself, have moved to a fee-based model, which is around what is it that you're going to do for the client. I don't think it's necessarily around, you know, you get this level of service and this level of service. What is it that you're actually going to provide for the client, and then price it accordingly. Most clients actually understand a fee and how it works. It's not a problem in how to deal with it. But I think the biggest thing for advisors is pricing their services right, that they're not undercharging for their service, because I think a lot of advisors, we're all guilty of it, that we do tend to undercharge for what we actually give. So I think getting the pricing right and packaging it as a project that you're going to deal with the accountant, the lawyer, the mortgage broker, and package it into one.
But do you not, I mean, one thing when I talk to advisors, I think they underestimate the value of the service they provide. Quite honestly, how they get paid, I think, is almost irrelevant, whether it's fees or commissions. But I remember talking to someone who said, when I realised the value of what I provided, the conversation around the fee in whatever form became very simple, and I wished I'd done it 10 years ago.
From a client perspective, I think it's about transparency. You know, clients will accept a number of different ways of paying, but it's about transparency. Then I agree, a number of advisors could do a lot more to articulate where the customer's going to get value, so the customer then makes the value assessment. And I think it was touched on before, but actually working out what your cost to serve is, so that you know if you can afford to go and see the client in their home.
I believe it's particularly in the coaching space, it's simply a retainer for services. And I've positioned it that way. Hey, my phone's always on, or one of the other staff members' phone's always on. And this is where technology does come in handy amazingly. There's software packages out there that the advisor can have a look at the other end that the client sees and link bank accounts to, and look at goal tracking, and it's almost like the PT for your finances. And the under 35s age bracket, it's really popular because it's all about habit, and people need to be coached into good habits.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the right way to look
Yeah.
at it.
And in terms of the cost, I mean, I probably pay $3,000 a year for the gym and the personal trainer. When you look at the cost of financial coaching and the rewards you get in that part of your life, I think if it's positioned correctly, clients will pay it.